real problem, and maybe in 2023 I'll work on it. That's not gonna happen. I have a real problem, but it's a problem that many of you may also have. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you this is not even a problem. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here with a library haul, a book haul. See, this is not a problem. I'm excited. I'm excited that I have new books that I cannot read. I took these books from the library. I took them home so that they could spend the holidays with me, but I don't know when I'm gonna read them. But here's today's Vlogmas challenge. If you've read any of these, then you get a point for each title that you've read. And I know Rebecca has read one of these books because we chatted about it yesterday. And hi Rebecca. Thank you so much for watching these videos and for joining the book club in 2023. Very excited to have you. If there are others of you who want to read the books for the Run Right Reads book club in 2023, check out my link for Instagram. You can send me messages over there, or I'll link the video down below where I gave you the list for what the book club is going to be reading in 2023. Join me for one book, join me for all the books. However you'd like to participate, would love to have you. So here are the titles of the books. Here are the books that I brought home from the library in three trips to the library, because it's getting to be Christmas, and well, it's Christmas soon, and my daughter loves going to the library. She loves the children's library section because they always have awesome things. So our children's librarian prepares these little bags of craft that you can take home. They have instructions, and so this is a sample of what's in the bag. So there's construction paper. Look, they're feathers. Like, isn't this awesome? There are several feathers. There's a straw, and there are what, 5 feathers? This is awesome. Like, this is really awesome. So there are 5 feathers and some straws and some other things. Glittery pom-poms, and I think, sorry, oh, this is for a bigger, this is maybe for an older child. It says to build something that will keep a treasure safe. So it has, this is the QR code for the YouTube video where you can watch and get instructions for how to construct that. So we've never done anything like that. A lot of the crafts that we have done thus far have been like this. Like this. These are really cool. No, again, we haven't done those. Most of the crafts that we've done, I'll put a picture. Most of them have just been like shapes that were already pre-cut from the construction paper, and you assemble the shapes and glue them on and make the pictures. And that's what we've been doing with our craft or take-home crafts, and my daughter loves them. So she loves going to the library with the anticipation of getting one of these bags. So today, while my daughter was at school, I went to the library, and the librarian was just putting them out. So because she knows us, she knows that my daughter loves the bags, she gave me one that she had saved for us from previous week. So that was awesome. So we have a few bags now that we can get and keep for the week next week when the kiddo is home and we're always looking for things to do. So because every day we do some creative project, and very excited about that. So yeah, that's story time for today. This was not planned, but yeah, story time. As I chat a little bit about the library and my love for the library and all the things that our library provides us. So here are the books for today's Vlogmas challenge, which I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Rebecca has read this. Hi, Rebecca. Again, we said that, right? How do you pronounce this? Recitative? Recitative? Toni Morrison's short story was published in an anthology, and this year, I think this year, Zadie Smith worked to get this published as an individual publication. So this was published by Penguin Random House, which I think is Penguin Random House, the publishing company that Toni Morrison used to be an editor for. I think so. In any case, got this. So I have this goal to read all of Toni Morrison's fiction, and I didn't work on that goal this year. So I'm adding this to my list of Toni Morrison fiction, and then I could read this, and it's a short story, and it's only about 50 something pages, 52 pages or thereabouts. And look, this is a large print format, and so yeah, I could definitely read this before the end of the year and actually accomplish something towards my goal. So I picked that up. So if you've read that, you get a point. Then I chose this one because my library is having a book club discussion of this in January. The book Woman's Daughter by Kim Michelle Richardson. So I like books about books, and this one is the book Woman's Daughter. This is about the pack horse library delivery in the Appalachians, and I read this book that Jojo Moyes wrote, The Giver of Stars. I read that and really liked it. When I read the Jojo Moyes book, I remember reading a discussion afterwards about other authors who have written similar stories. And I can't remember now the title of the other book that was kind of compared side by side with The Giver of Stars. I don't think this was it, but in any case, I wanted to read more about that life, that Appalachian pack horse library delivery. So this is the book that my library is going to be reading and discussing. And I don't know if I'll actually join the book club discussion, because a lot of times those things happen at times when I'm not able to attend. So this discussion is scheduled to happen on a Thursday at 5:30 p.m. We'll see how that goes. If my husband is home and is able to stay with our daughter, then it's possible that I may be able to attend. We don't know. But in any case, I plan to read this, hopefully in this actual trip from the library. Otherwise I may have to renew it and try again. In any case, if you've read it, then you get a point. You know what, because we're going to make it so that if you've read anything by this author today, then you get a point, right? So if you've read any Toni Morrison book, then you get a point, including her nonfiction, Source of Self-Regard, which I started reading and never finished. It's pretty long. I read some of the essays. I didn't read everything. But I've read her fiction, so I get a point, even though I haven't read that one. And then if you've read anything by Kim Michelle Richardson, I don't know what else she has published. She's the person who wrote the book Woman of Troublesome Creek. Okay, so there's another book that has a pretty similar cover, actually. So if you've read that or any other thing, any other publication of Kim Michelle Richardson, then you get a point. That's how we're going to do this. Then our next title is Sally Hepworth, The Younger Wife. I first read Sally Hepworth's The Mother-in-Law, which I loved. It's a kind of a thriller, suspense. Let's call it suspense. And it was about a woman who had died, and we're trying to figure out what happened. How she died. Was she killed? Yeah. Sally Hepworth is an Australian writer, and I love that book. And so I sought out the next book that I could read from her, and I read The Good Sister, I think is, yeah, The Good Sister, mentioned right here. And I didn't like that as much. It was about twins, where one, I think, is challenged in some way. Like, I don't remember if she has an emotional challenge or a mental challenge, and the other person was maybe taking advantage of her. I can't remember the story very well, but I didn't love it like I loved The Mother-in-Law. But I love The Mother-in-Law so much, and I'm still hoping that I like more of Sally Hepworth's books. So I saw this one. I thought I'd check it out. The Younger Wife. She changes everything. So this is about a husband, daughters, the former wife, and the younger wife. And so I'm excited to read it. I don't know if I'm going to read it right now because, you know, I have all these books on my December TBR that I have not been reading. But I got it. I got it from the library, so we're going to check it out. So if you've read anything by Sally Hepworth, then you get a point. And then this is the book for the Run Right Reads book club for December. Had a copy of this from the library and had to return it early, so I got another copy. So this is The Kingdom of This World. It's a novel by Alejo Carpentier and it's translated from Spanish. So en español, El Reino de este Mundo, I think was the title. So this is about French colonial rule and Haiti under the reign of King Henri Christophe, who was born a slave in Grenada but rose to become the first black king in the Western Hemisphere. And yeah, this is the book that we're discussing for the Run Right Reads book club in December. So if you've read this, all my book club members, if you've read this, then you get a point. I haven't finished, so I get no points. Sad face. And then we have the Booker Prize winner for 2022, The Seven Moons of Mali Almeida by Shihan Karuna Tilaka. Karuna Tilaka by Shihan Karuna Tilaka. Did I say that right? I hope so. This is the Booker Prize winner, and you might not know, but I'm trying to read all the Booker Prize winning books at some point. We're going to finish. So got this copy from the library because I can't buy a copy right now. But at some point, I want to own this so it can go on the shelf right here, right next to Shuggie Bain. I'm Missing the Prophet by Damon Galgut on my TBR. That's on my wish list, rather. Yeah, I'm just kidding. At some point, we will complete the Booker winning collection, but not yet. Not yet. So for now, we're going to read them from the library because I feel like knowing that I have a time where I have to return it to the library makes it so that I want to read the book quicker, that if I just own it and it just sits on the shelf waiting for some perfect time when other books just keep coming in. So if you've read that, if you were doing the challenge where you read all the Booker nominated books before the prize is announced, then maybe you would have read this one and then you get a point. And I don't know what else the author has written. I don't know if this is a debut. I'm not sure. But this is a Sri Lankan author. No, this is his second novel. He previously wrote Chinaman, The Legend of Pradeep Matthew. So if you've read anything by this author, then you get a point. The next title I got from the library is The Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki. Ruth Ozeki wrote one of my favorite all-time novels, A Tale for the Time Being. So if you read that, or if you read this, or if you read anything else by Ruth Ozeki, then you get a point. And this was mentioned. Now, where did we find this? We found this on the list earlier this month, and I said that I wanted to read more from this author. I also think I put this on my list. Did I put this on my list for the challenge that I'm starting in January? I think so. In which case, we will definitely save this. I have to check. But if that's the case, then I'll definitely save this for January. Not that I'll read all of these other books by the end of December and have like room looking for a big book. That's not happening. But I have to check why I requested this from the library. It was a library request that came in. So, The Book of Form and Emptiness. If you've read anything by Ruth Ozeki, then you get a point. And then finally, Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. So, fun fact, I'm a chemical engineer by training. I laugh when I say these things because my life right now is just so far from chemical engineering that it's not even funny. But because I love science, you might not guess that from looking at me. Because I love science and I love novels, I don't gravitate towards sci-fi. I don't really look for science fiction novels to read, but I love when my novels, my literary fiction, includes something about science when it has science in the title, I will always reach for that book and check it out. Whether or not I read it and enjoy it, that's a different thing. But yeah, so Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. Saw this title, just was very excited about it. I don't know Bonnie Garmus. Bonnie Garmus is a copywriter, and she's born in California, most recently from Seattle. She currently lives in London. So I'm not sure. It doesn't say whether or not this is her debut. But if it is, then you get a point if you've read this. If it's not, then you get a point if you've read this or anything else that Bonnie Garmus has written. So yeah, those are the titles for today's Vlogmas challenge. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Now I have to go get my daughter from preschool. So we will check in with another video very soon. Enjoy my terrible singing because it's the most wonderful time of the day. There'll be book lists we're showing and copies we're holding and games that we'll play. It's the most wonderful time of the day. Bye guys, see you tomorrow.